As you make your way into the 5th, we are transiting into the 6th. We know that many of you understand that what is happening on Earth, what humanity is doing and what Earth is doing collectively, is having universal ramifications, and this is one of the ramifications of that journey. We, the fairy, are moving to the 6th dimension. We're making way, so to speak, for you to occupy the 5th. So a lot of you ask, what is it like in the 5th dimension? So I'll tell you, my day in the 5th dimension. There's no day. Unless I want it to be day. Oh, I'd like day. Oh, I see, the sky is blue, the sun is shining, I busy myself with this task. Oh, then I'd like to take myself here. Well, maybe here is 5,000 years ago. Oh, look what fun that is. Oh, I'm tired of that. I think I'd like to get in my ship and travel interdimensionally through a wormhole to the Pleiades, to the 5th dimensional version of the Pleiades. Oh, that would be fun today. This is my not day. What are relationships like in the 5th dimension? You often want to know. We've had that question asked of us, what is sex with a fairy like? Well, our sexual connections are much more energetically expressed than physically expressed. And this is where you're all headed. You're getting out of this idea that the body is the be-all and end-all. You are respecting your bodies more as you fill yourselves with light, so you can actualize the light body experience in conjunction with the physical. And this is an experience we can have. So if I, Calliandra, want to take full physical form and have sexual intercourse with another being in a full physical expression, I can. But what I cannot do is forget my identity, forget that I am an expression of Source, and forget my light. What most of you do is forget all that. So you find another, and you decide you want to partner with that person, you want to have sex with that person because you want to run your connection to Source through that person and find your way to God through that other person. And this is something you're remembering now not to do. What you're remembering now to do on planet Earth is to feel your own connection with Source and to feel that connection with Source energy through the orgasm. Our recommendation for all of you when it comes to this activity, when it comes to experiencing full Source connection through the orgasm, is to do that first alone, with yourself, and only yourself. That you masturbate, that you touch yourself, that you fully activate your chakras, that you not fantasize about anyone, any act, anything, that instead you focus on your body, you focus on the experience energetically and the sensations, and as you experience your orgasm, that you understand yourself as Source energy. You understand that big expression that you feel there in the orgasm as you, fully understanding yourself as Source. This is the Pleiadians. We're going to jump in and talk just a little bit more with you about this. One of the things that's happened on your world is that you've gotten very energetically entangled with each other. And one of the places you really get energetically entangled is in your sexual relationships. You start to run your energy through the person, they run their energy through yours, suddenly you don't know whose sadness is whose, you don't know what's what. Take a breath, all of you. Shake your hands out. Some of you are thinking, wow, we didn't know we'd be hearing about sex today. Nora's thinking, oh, I didn't know I'd be speaking about sex today. She wanted me us to share that with all of you. This is Nora, that's true. You know, I asked them beforehand, what are we talking about today? bupkis, nothing. They gave me nothing beforehand. Lately, they're doing that more and more. They'll say to me, you know, your mind, your third-dimensional mind will just get in the way of the transmission. So they're not giving me any cliff notes any longer. Excuse me. Hi, everybody. Having fun? Yes? Okay, we'll go to Q&A soon. I can feel where we need to have some more interaction. This is the Pleiadians here. So, the energetic and emotional untangling work and detangling work that's been happening on the planet for all of you has been going on for quite some time, and it's been really fierce for some of you. The untangling work, not so difficult. When you find you're tangled with another and the untangling happens easily, all right, but the detangling work, sometimes to detangle your energy from another, you have had to create a real rift in the relationship itself. So we've seen a lot of you go through this. We've seen you go through it in your sexual relationships. We've seen you go through it with your friendships. We've seen you go through it with your family members as well, where there are just periods of time where you have to have physical, emotional, intellectual, and energetic separation from that other earthling to be able to detangle energetically. And these entanglements that we're talking about, they were not just seated in this lifetime's experience. You are working on energetically detangling and untangling from all your lifetime experiences, but because the reascension process that is underway is not just this version of you accessing its fifth dimensional identity. It is every version of you that has ever existed in third dimensional density actualizing its fifth dimensional identity. Take a breath. Now, you don't have to access and catalog all of your memories. It would be patently impossible for all of you to do that at this time. But what you can start doing is accessing more of your memories. So we'll give you a very easy way to do that. You find yourself thinking about somebody that you're in conflict with. Let's say you're just doing a task around the house and this person comes into your mind. And you have a conflict with them and you don't know how to resolve it, or maybe you know for now there is no resolution to it and you just need some space. Ask yourself in the moment, well, is there a past life component to this conflict? And then check in with your body. You all know your bodies. You know when it is that your body is telling you yes, and you know when it is that your body is telling you no. So check in with your bodies. Is there a past life component here? Yes, there is. Well, who was that person to me in that other lifetime? Just ask the question. Then something will pop into your head. My mother. That person was my mother. Now here's where it gets tricky for a lot of you. At that point, you usually say, I'm just making that up. All right. Well, yes, on some level, you're making it up. Because all of reality is an illusion. So yes, it is made up, but at the same time, it's real. If your energy, if your essence is saying to you in the moment, if your body is saying, that was my mother in another life, then that person was your mother in another lifetime. Take a breath. And then what you can do in that moment is send a transmission of unconditional love to that version of you in that other life that experienced the trauma. And as you send that transmission, it's just a simple inhalation of breath, lighten up your heart center, and an exhalation with the intent that the energy go to that version of you. That's it. It's not even so much about sending the one who was your mother love, because she's not really the one with the problem. You are. Remember that. As you alter yourself, your reality around you alters. That is the way you are all working. And we know you like to play the victim-perpetrator game in this reality, and it's been a lot of fun for a long time. But it's time for you all now to transcend that experience, to take full ownership, full responsibility as a creator being, as the beautiful, universal, high vibrational being of light that you are, and move yourself forward, move yourself along your paths. All right, there's one other piece we're going to cover, and then we're going to take some questions. So we want to talk about the position of your higher self or your fifth dimensional identity, because all of you right now are operating with two identities. There's your third dimensional identity, and that's the birth name you were given, and that childhood, and all of those issues, and all the past lives. That's a lot. And then there is your fifth dimensional identity, or your higher self. A lot of you have used that term higher self. We're using the terms higher self and fifth dimensional identity interchangeably. We see them as the same. So, for a long time we've seen that you all have placed your higher selves in a floaty little space above you, in the same space that you might have placed your high heart chakra. That's the 8th chakra. Take a breath right now and feel your higher self as right here in your heart center. And feel the positioning of your high heart chakra here as well. Feel how much power that gives you in the moment to suddenly understand yourself as your higher self. Now, where's the ego identity in all of this? Well, the ego identity still exists. It's still running in tangent with the higher self. This is one of the reasons why life is so confusing for all of you right now, because you've got two drivers in the vehicle at all times. And we see you often, all of you, flip-flopping back and forth between the ego and the higher self. And this is going to happen for a while still, all right? So we want you to be really patient, loving, and gentle with yourselves as you run the integration experience. Let's run a process with all of you. So go back into your heart centers here. Really inhale into your 4th and high heart chakra, now placing that in the heart center. Greetings, this is Yeshua. We greet you with love and joy. A number of years ago, we began to give a process called the whole heart chakra activation and meditation. Right now, we want you all to actualize your whole heart chakra without needing to know how, because this is one of the other gifts of your shift. You don't need long processes any longer to get yourselves from A to B. You simply need a breath and an instant. So feel the activation of your whole heart chakra. And what that really is your personal heart chakra and your universal heart chakra combined as one, which allows the higher self, the fifth dimensional identity, more access to the vehicle. And as you inhale and expand your light, on the exhalation of breath, begin to feel the energies of your fifth dimensional identity move down your vehicle into your 3rd chakra. And really inhale now into your 3rd chakra and exhale. This is where you really begin to re-identify in the body. As you integrate into the 3rd chakra, you let go of the ego attachments of this lifetime, of your other lifetimes, and open up to the truth of your fifth dimensional identity, of that higher being. And now as you inhale and exhale, feel that light and energy move into your 2nd chakra. And really expand. You can place your hands on your 2nd chakra if you like. And check in. How welcome is your fifth dimensional identity, your higher self and your 2nd chakra? We'll tell you, we see the 2nd chakra as the chakra that's been most difficult for all of you to integrate in. So some of you may be viewing this exercise right now and saying, in fact, I don't know that I want my higher self in my 2nd chakra. Take a breath. A lot of you have sexual shame, not just from this lifetime, but from many other lifetime experiences. And as that shame comes up, related to either abusive type situations you found yourself in or abuser type situations you played out. As that shame comes up, often the ego identity will clamp down and say, I don't deserve that light in my second chakra. So right now, we want you to say to yourselves, I am deserving of my light in my second chakra. Feel that shift right there. A lot of you just really opened up. And now as you breathe, allow the energies of your higher self to move into the base of your spine, into your tailbone, and also the soles of your feet. We want you to view the first chakra as a triangle. The apex at the base of your spine, the other 2 points in the soles of your feet. Really breathe your higher self's energy into that first chakra area. This allows you, if you perceive your first chakra in the soles of your feet as well as at the base of your spine and your tailbone, it allows you then to fully connect with Earth's energy using your first chakra in a physical way as well as an energetic way. Wow, this is the Pleiadians. You're all very altered right now, and the energy in the space is altered. Check in with that right now. Feel that. Because what's happened here is you've begun to activate your fifth dimensional energetic bodies. You see, your fifth dimensional identity cannot be housed in the container of your third dimensional vehicle. Your fifth dimensional identity is much bigger than your third dimensional vehicle. So as you work the energy of your fifth dimensional identity more fully into your chakra systems, the light expands out of you as well. As the light expands out of you, this is what we're calling your fifth dimensional energetic body. Within your fifth dimensional energetic body lies your fifth dimensional chakra system. Take a breath. We're giving you a lot of technology today. Your fifth dimensional chakra system. We perceive your fifth dimensional chakra system to be many points of light, shapes, spirals, colors, orbs, moving around and through your physical bodies. As you more fully actualize your fifth dimensional energetic bodies and your fifth dimensional chakra system, this is what will allow you to move into full creator abilities. All right, so in the third dimension, you've been using that rudimentary chakra system of 7 main chakras, and you have been running law of attraction, meaning what you were carrying within your chakra systems, you were reflecting outside of you. And in the third dimension, you were confined to a limited amount of energy to play with. Because in the third dimension, you cannot manifest something out of nothing, right? Shape changes, moves, but you cannot drum something up out of thin air in the laws of the third dimension. It's one of the reasons why you've had such a huge increase in your population on the planet at this time. It's taking an incredible amount of energy for you all to shift, and all of these beings coming in are facilitating that energetic drive and push. However, when you transcend the laws and the limitations of the third dimension and begin playing in the laws of the fifth dimension, you have access to an infinite amount of energy. You can create something out of nothing. And this is how you begin to operate as instantaneous manifestors. All right, everyone stand up for a minute and just jump up and down a little bit. Good, thank you. And have a seat, and if somebody would please step to the microphone and ask a question. And, you know, whomever wants to answer is who will answer. And we'll just go from there until we run out of time.
I'm not connected to my soles of my feet, to my heart, and planning on doing the El Camino, the Santiago walk. And I really, really, really want to do it.
This is Calliandra here. So first we're going to tell you that, yes, you'll take that trip, you will take that journey, and you will have the experience you desire. But you will have the experience you desire because you desire it. Take a breath. We would say to you, you're absolutely connected into your heart. Look at you. Look at how beautiful you are in this moment. You do not need to take this journey to connect into your heart. You need to take this journey because you need a journey.
Thank you.
Well, let's clear that piece up for all of you. You're all connected in your hearts. You couldn't be here on the planet if you didn't experience heart connection. You know, a lot of you have heard many things over the years in the process of working with different people or just in your own mind. And a lot of those things you heard were often simply echoes from the past. Echoes from childhood traumas, echoes from other lifetimes. You are all high vibrational beings of light. You can do anything you want right now. Next question.
Thank you very much. Very excited to be here. I'm learning about what's possible for me and for our reality. Possibilities that we've been told through enslavement that aren't. I want to know more about that. I want to know how can I make things possible for me in my reality and for others that are that we've been told by corporate structures and global elites. And I want to know how we can break free of that kind of enslavement in our own world, not just through our minds, because I can know it in my mind, but then I'm in the 3D reality. It's challenging.
All right, this is the Pleiadians here. That's a great question. Thank you. Thank you for your question. That's a great question because you do all feel enslaved on some level. And part of the reason for that is because you set up. You set up. We all set up the enslavement game. It's a game. So the way to move through the game is to move through the game. The first piece is to wake up and say, holy, I'm enslaved. So typically what happens after that moment, when you have that moment of recognition where you've been enslaved, is all of this emotion comes up, all right? So we've seen a lot of you deal with anger and grief and anger and anger and anger and anger and anger. The anger has been a big piece for a lot of you. And one of the reasons why anger has been a big piece for a lot of you is because you were also programmed not to feel your anger. So we'll talk about anger for a minute. Anger is the emotion that you were all given, that you gave yourselves. So when your boundaries were being violated, you would become aware. Anger is the red light. It's the uh-oh. Something is happening here that should not be happening, that is not happening for my highest good. Anger is incredibly important, and as we said earlier, simply an experience, not a good one, not a bad one. So when you felt your anger, then you were supposed to key into your third chakras, express your identity, your sense of self, declare your boundaries. But because so many of you, or we would say all of you, have been talked out of feeling your anger again and again and again, you have all of this repressed anger that has now manifested as rage. Rage is that big, ugly-looking, uncontrollable monster that you become. Who here in the space has felt rage? Excellent. Thank you. The only way to get through this is to be fully honest about where you're at. So yes, everyone on the planet has felt rage. When you feel your rage surface, that is not the moment to take action. When your rage surfaces, that is the moment to breathe and love yourself even more. Once you've cleared your rage, and a lot of you have done tremendous amount of work around clearing your rage. And again, we're not just speaking about this lifetime. We're talking about every incarnation you have ever had. Once you've cleared your rage, then you begin to allow yourself healthy access to your anger again. Anger should be experienced as a pleasurable emotion. Who here in the space has felt that? Anger as pleasurable. Good. As fun, even. When that flash of anger comes over you and you express yourself and your boundary, and then you get on with your day. That's right. All right, so that's the first step in answering that question. It's a long answer to the question, because this step here around rage and anger is significant. If you stay stuck in your rage, you will stay stuck as a slave to your rage. And you will continue to manifest from that place, and always from that place. So once you do that, then you start to really remember, oh yeah, I helped to manifest this in the first place. I helped to create this, because you all did. We all did. Everything that is happening on this planet, in this universe, on some level, there is collective agreement. And every single one of you sitting in these seats calling yourself a light worker, in another incarnation you were as dark can be. Take a breath right now and feel the truth in that. Remember, integration is not just about shifting from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. It is about healing and clearing any and all trauma. And to be able to fully do that, that means you have to understand the source of all trauma within yourselves. Then as you get there, all right, I was that bad guy. And we don't mean you get there in an intellectual way, because a lot of you have already gone there intellectually. You said, oh yeah, I was that rapist, murderer, whatever, yeah, I get it. No. There is a moment emotionally where you get it. You access what you're calling your shadow. You really access it. And it's wrapped up there in your rage. And as you access your own shadow, you clear it. You love even more those shadowy aspects of yourself. And as you do that, the reflection around you changes. Suddenly, you're living in a freer environment because you are feeling free yourself. You see, this work, our work with all of you is energetic. It is about working from the inside out. We're not going to give you a series of steps to do, to take to your political leaders. We're going to tell you all, each of you, how to claim your sovereign state here with these bodies and manifest a reality that serves you in the moment. And remember that everyone else on the planet has the opportunity to do the same. Because we see a lot of you wanting and desiring this level of freedom, this sovereign experience for everyone else as well. And it is fine to want that, to desire it, to intend that, to send love and light to that. It is not okay to become distracted by that and let that take you out of your own journey. Your own journey is essential right now. It's your greatest gift on the planet. Your individual shift, each one of you, is the highest level of service you will ever bring. Take a breath. The other piece of this is there are collective understandings about the shift in general, and there is something called divine right timing. The earthling